And like, if a doctor asked, "Hey, do you meditate?" Well, that could be the reason why you like aren't feeling well. Well, that's bullshit.
That's not what I'm saying. That's not what my doctor said. I mentioned meditation and you kind of went on a rant. Well, no. My doctor was saying that meditation might help.
Okay.
He's not saying that you're anxious because you don't meditate. He said that that's something that might help. Try this.
Okay.
I don't know why that was such a like triggering thing for you. Like,
well, I think it's just kind of bullshit. Like,
seems like you have like a thing against meditation, like something that might actually help some people. You know,
well, if it's helping,
might be something to try.
Placebo effect. That's what I'm saying.
What's wrong with that?
Well, I'm not saying that's bad.
Well, actually, meditation is exercise of the mind, so it's not. You don't. It's more than that. It is like exercising your mind, like a fucking
okay,
muscle.
Sure, yeah.
Okay,
I don't believe
you obviously haven't looked into meditation at all or anything like that.
Okay, well, I would like to see the research on meditation.
Okay, look at the research on meditation.
Okay, we'll pull it up. I don't have the bearing of evidence, bearing of proof, or whatever.
This is like a well-known thing for thousands of years and everywhere, basically, except for the West.
No, that's bullshit. That's like saying acupuncture is a well-known thing for thousands of years.
No, because that's not.
A doctor recommends it, and people in the East do it.
No, because that's not as widespread as meditation.
It is. Doctors in America recommend acupuncture all the time. And it's bullshit too. Just like chiropractic.
How many people do you know that do acupuncture? I'm sure you know some people who do meditation. You might not know they do meditation, but I know people
who have family members that do acupuncture and have had acupuncture done on them themselves. Coworkers. And recommended to them by doctors. Just like doctors can recommend chiropractors, but that doesn't mean chiropractic is a fucking real thing. You can't just Google things on here, Jeff. No. Look, if you want, we could just make this part of next week's episode. Make a debate on meditation.
I mean, it's not even something that I care that much about. I just found it weird that you got so triggered when I mentioned meditation. You're like, oh, that's bullshit.
I don't. I didn't just start with, oh, that's bullshit, but
that was definitely your reaction.
I said, no, that's probably a placebo effect because meditation is not.
No, when I said
things is not like the others. Well, that's what I was
talking about my doctor, like recommending things, and as soon as I said meditation, you're like, that's weird.
Yeah,
like that's not weird. It is something that is try.
Weird. It might work. That's a red flag.
How is that a red flag?
Because it's not fucking. If you are actually suffering depression, that's not a solution.
He didn't say that was a solution. If your doctor says try meditation, this might help, and you think I tried meditation once, it didn't cure my depression.
I would be offended because I would think my doctor is being condescending to me, like recommending that I eat well without asking me if I eat well. You know, that's what I'm saying. Like that's condescending.
But you're talking about your doctor who didn't know you. I'm talking about my doctor who did know me. That's the difference.
Yeah, that's true.
That's what I'm talking about. I went to see my doctor who has been my doctor.
So what you're saying is your doctor didn't think you had depression.
No, I mentioned that I had anxiety.
Yeah, didn't think you had anxiety.
No, he definitely. Those are things that help with anxiety. It's not saying you don't have anxiety. If you say I have anxiety, and all he said is that he didn't know if he wanted to put me on medication yet. He wanted to see if other things would work first, more natural things, because medication can be problematic. That's a fact. I mean, if you don't think there's anything wrong with pharmaceuticals?
Well, yeah. I mean, I don't think that it's the first thing he should have done.
Exactly. But so that's what he was saying is that that's not the first thing I want to do.
I was just saying that meditation is nowhere near the same thing as sleep, exercise, or a diet. Like that's a different, those are things you need to be a well-regulated person. Meditation is not. Meditation is it's bullshit.
That's
in
bullshit.
My opinion.
See,
let me finish. It's bullshit in my opinion. And as far as I know, medicinally, it's like any other Eastern medicine type of like appropriatization of like a thing that sounds like it would work. And so people do it. It's like modern fucking bloodletting as far as I care.
That's such a ridiculous.
Until you show me a fucking
we'll have to do this study. We'll have to do a debate on this.
Yeah, until you show me a study, that's my opinion.
I've definitely looked at research on this in the past, not recently, but like it's not. You're trying to make it out to like meditation is this like woo fucking.
Yeah, I think it's some woo woo shit.
No, this is like a real thing that has real.
Show me some studies and I'll believe it. But I think it's some woo woo shit.
I don't think you understand what meditation is. First of all, what is meditation?
It's like sitting there with your eyes closed and trying to like focus on like like relaxing your mind or whatever.
You don't know.
Well, I've looked it up before, and most people, if you're told by a doctor, you're not going to fucking know what meditation is. So, what is meditation?
Well, I mean, they should probably explain. That. I think my doctor did kind of go into it with me. I mean, this is a long time ago, man. I was like 18, but yeah, I mean, meditate. I mean, that's like a very surface level idea of what it is, but it's like exercising your mind. Like it's like, would you say yoga it has no benefits?
No, because yoga's stretching.
Well, it's basically yoga for your mind.
No,
it is literally
different. It
is not different. They go hand in hand.
Statement is ridiculous. No,
yoga and meditation are almost always going together.
Not the same thing, because one is exercise. Stretching is really good for your body. That's calisthenics. It's really good for your body. That's good for your mind. It gets your blood flow.
Is doing crosswords and stuff like that not exercising your mind? Is that not exercise for your mind?
No.
Probably
not crosswords.
Okay, maybe a bad example. Can you exercise your mind is my real question.
I think you can get better at specific things. I don't think
that's what meditation is. It's practicing.
No.
Yes. Why are you saying no when you just said you don't know what it is? And now you're trying to tell me I don't know what it is?
Because you're not learning anything by sitting there with your fucking eyes closed.
Because that's not what meditation is. You're not.
Well, then you're not getting better at anything except for sitting there with your eyes closed.
You obviously...
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying.
You don't know what meditation is, and you're trying to say you do.
Explain to me what meditation is.
You're not just sitting there with your fucking eyes closed. That's not meditation. Anybody can sit there with their eyes closed.
No, but you're trying to like relax your mind and focus on like nothing or whatever.
It's trying to... It's exercising the ability to... trying to find the right words. Everybody has clutter in their mind constantly. Fucking, just cluttered thoughts going on in your mind. Meditation is practicing like letting that shit go. So you're like literally like trying to think of nothing at all, which is impossible to do, obviously. So it's not something that oh, I just accomplished a meditation. I did it. Now my depression is cured. It's something, if you're somebody who meditates, it's a part of your everyday fucking thing. You don't stop doing it. There's no end to it. It's just, it helps you have better control of your mind. And there is research on that. Like, and we can go over that next episode.
I would like to see because I think that's bullshit. I think you can just say, try deep breathing, and that would be better than fucking
that's
saying
meditation.
No, it's just
a form of meditation,
because that's a physiological motor like thing. You're thinking mind exercise is bullshit, woo nonsense. But if deep breathing is good because you're oxygenating your brain.
How you have literally stated multiple times that you haven't looked at the research on this, but you're stating definitively that it's woo bullshit
the
nonsense.
Mind exercise aspect of it, yeah. Anybody who would like believe that it's like gonna like make you better at doing anything is ridiculous.
I love how you make definitive statements on things that you clearly state that you don't know anything about. And you don't even know how to define it, but then you say this is absolutely bullshit.
Well, I said it the same way you do. I said you try to focus on nothing, but you just said it in a different way.
Well, you said you sit there with your eyes closed
and try to focus on nothing. I would just like, so what if your eyes are open or not? That's
that doesn't matter either, actually.
Yeah, so kind of nitpicky of you to specify that. Well, you're trying to focus on nothing, right?
Yeah, I guess. Well, but that's why I said it. That was like a surface level understanding of it, but like.
Well, I'm just saying most people would have a surface level understanding of that. That's why it's a bad thing to recommend to someone as a doctor. You know?
I feel like you have a very Western centric view of things, and you don't really realize it.
I think that's bullshit.
That's a very Western centric way to look at it.
No, how could I be Western centric if I'm a communist?
That's a good question. That's why it confuses me.
Well, because I believe that people should be given medical advice that's rooted in science. And I hate when
you haven't ever looked at the science, but you're stating definitively that there is no science to back it up.
As far as I know,
because you haven't looked at it, and you said that. Yeah. How would you know?
Because it would be.
That's like as far as I know, fucking like. You could just say that with anything you don't know anything about. Like, as far as I know, George Washington's fucking
and then
children
you disprove me with
fucking-
fact. You disprove me with reliable evidence. If I said George Washington's children were pumpkin carvers. Or something.
Yeah. But it's such a, like, why would you even say that? Yeah, as far as I know, they're not pumpkin
making
carvers.
or lying or making anything up or lying. It's just, I've never heard of that. And it very much sounds like anything else that would fall into the realm of this is a placebo-based older thing that people think works, so people recommend it to
No, but
each
the
other.
placebo effect is when something doesn't actually physically work, but you're convinced that it does, so it actually has an effect. That's
A
not
measurable
That's
effect,
not
but
meditation.
small.
That's not even in
That's
the same
meditation.
realm.
That's definitely meditation.
No, because meditation isn't supposed to be a physical thing to begin with.
You're doing something physical when you sit there and not do it.
No, you're doing the exact opposite, actually.
No, that's still something physical. I mean, it's not natural for us to sit there in like one spot like that. That's still a different action. It takes motor function to
but
be still.
the difference is the placebo effect is when, like in the case of water pills, say I think I have a problem. You give me a pill, say it's one thing, but it's actually just water. I take it and it actually has an effect because I thought it was real.
Yeah.
That's the placebo
Like it
effect.
cures your depression.
Yeah.
Because you actually didn't have depression. Because it's a small measurable effect. That's the placebo effect.
That's not that has nothing to do with meditation at all. Meditation, it is, first of all, you should understand what meditation is and what it's for if you're doing it. It's not supposed to cure anything, or like I said, like it's just a part of your, it's like yoga. The best thing
No,
that comes
it's not
from
like yoga. Yoga's
no,
exercise.
No.
Yoga's exercise. I want to be clear with that.
It is exercise for your mind, because if you don't, somebody who doesn't meditate is going to have a lot more mental clutter than somebody who does. And there is research on that. So we can debate it next week if you want, when we actually have like sources to look at, or we can keep arguing about it right now.
No, I'm done. But okay, so what were you trying to? Let's just reel it all the way back. Let's rewind.
I don't even remember.
You were trying to say your doctor recommended all these things, but what happened afterwards?
I don't remember the point of the story.
Okay.
I don't know what we were talking about. You got triggered when I said meditation, and it turned into a debate about that.
You're using triggered wrong, because triggering is referring to trauma.
Is that what that means? I thought it was just it like sets you off like a trigger, because that's what that did. As soon as I said meditation, you're like, that's bullshit. You know?
I'm having a strong response to it. Triggering is supposed to, like, I guess I don't care, because language is like a smooth thing, and I guess I
always understood it as just like it's like setting you off, like a trigger.
It's supposed to be that it's like causing a trauma response, but people also use it because a lot like people use it started using it as a derogative thing, like, oh, everything makes you triggered, everything sets off your trauma response. So then triggering also became just being set off, But like an actually triggering thing would be like if someone said something to you that sparked a trauma and put you in like a bad, shitty mood, or like a episode because of it.
Yeah.
But I'm mad because I don't like doctors who give like bad advice.
I think assuming that's bad advice without ever looking at whether or not there is research, let alone looking at the research that does exist, it's pretty wild. It's a pretty strong stance to have on something you don't know anything about. That's all I'm saying. That's like if I don't know anything about fucking like a certain medication, but I'm just so anti that certain medication, but I don't know anything about it. I don't know what it does. I don't know what it's for, but I'm like, fucking penicillin, bro.
Okay, so let me bring it to you a different way. So when you're walking, you can try to clear your mind, right?
Yeah.
You can just I'm going to go on a walk to clear my mind. Are you meditating?
No, but that's usually doing the exact opposite of meditating. You're thinking about that thing intently when you're walking.
What if you're trying to clear your mind? People do that to clear their mind.
Well, I guess
smoke to clear their mind. People do a lot of
you're distracting yourself from
people
whatever you
do
want.
A lot of coping things to try to distract their mind from a thing and focus on one individual thing. Is that not similar to meditation?
It's similar, yeah.
Well, if you got better at that, wouldn't that be the same thing? Isn't that just developing a coping mechanism? Which, if your coping mechanism is just sitting there doing nothing, sure, but that's just like that's a like. That's
the difference is what you're talking about when you say clear your mind. When somebody goes for a walk to clear their mind, or they have a smoke to clear their mind, usually that in that context, something just happened that they don't like, a negative experience, and now they need to clear their mind, right? You just got in a fight with your girlfriend, and now you need to go on a walk to clear your mind.
Not
right?
always, no. When I that's why it was really hard for me to stop smoking and to it's hard for me to not smoke weed because I use it as like a way to decompress and reset, and because the first thing that happens when you start getting stoned is you lose track of your thoughts. And so at that point, it puts me in a space where I can actually not think about anything, So am I not meditating every time I hit this joint, Bradley?
If you're doing the same thing as me, then no, because when I smoke weed, I smoke weed to clear my mind too, right? But I'm not intently thinking about this joint, and that's all I'm thinking about. I'm distracting myself. I'm probably thinking of music or a fucking.
Well, why does it have to be the one thing? Meditation is just
it's not one thing.
Thinking of that meditation.
But that's what I'm saying is when I go for a walk or when I smoke or something. I'm not saying this is you. I'm saying this is why I don't understand what you're saying, because from my experience, that's not at all what I'm doing. I'm not thinking about one thing intently. My mind is all over the place all the time, which is why I used to meditate, and it did help me. That's why I'm I don't know why you're so triggered about it. Because it did help me keep my mind fucking.
Because I think it's bullshit, and I think it could be better explained as you need to find a way to reset, and meditation is a good way to reset, but it's
not about resetting. It's about learning how to keep control of the clutter in your mind. That's what it is. So that's when you're somebody like me, especially I have ADHD, and I know you think you do. I
do though.
Well,
I don't.
Okay, but I'm diagnosed with ADHD, physically diagnosed with it. So as somebody with ADHD, my mind is all over the place all the fucking time. What meditation is doing is helping you figure out how to control that. That's what meditation is. And I know it works from experience because it did work for me. When I used to meditate, I did notice a difference in just less clutter in my mind. My mind wasn't so
then
fucking...
I would say you're probably biased because of personal experience and the placebo effect.
Well, I'm biased because of personal experience and research that I've looked at in the past. Research
that you have no evidence of, but I would love. We'll come back to it.
Because I'm not going to fucking look for it right now.
No, we'll come back to it.
I'm not going to pull up a Wikipedia article if we're talking about research. I'll look at actual fucking medical.
The screen, so you could always pull up a Wikipedia article. You could always do that.
I mean, we could, I guess.
You could start Googling it.
Whatever.
We could fall down this rabbit hole. It's still early. We've only been going an hour and a half. Google it on here, though. I want to see it on this screen.
Well, I figured I would post the link.
No, let's just do it right here.
All right.
These raps are kind of awesome, huh? This thing's going a long time.
I feel like it's lasting a while.
Oh, it's funny. These are made by Swisher Sweet.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Isn't that kind of fucked up that Swisher Sweet's cigar company can be based in Jacksonville, Florida, but all of their cigars can be made in the Dominican Republic? They're just selling it, but they're producing it in a different country. I wonder how much they're paying those people. Probably nothing, huh? This doesn't say slavery free. It says vegan, non-GMO, and pesticide free. It doesn't say no slaves. Okay, yeah, NCCIH.
What is that?
Meditation and mindfulness.
No, what is the NCCIH? What is that? I mean, it says .gov. But do you know what that stands for?
National Center of... National Center...
I'm sure it says on the website, but I just was wondering if you knew.
I just said that. Nice. Yeah. It sounds like National Center of Complementary and Integrative Health. So,
okay, so it says, all right, what are meditation and mindfulness? Meditation has a history that goes back thousands of years, and many meditative techniques began in Eastern traditions. I don't know if I want to read all this.
Okay, I'll do it. Some types of meditation involve maintaining mental focus on a particular sensation, such as breathing, a sound, or visual image, or mantra, which is a repeated word or phrase. Other forms of meditation include the practice of mindfulness, which involves maintaining attention or awareness on the present moment without making judgments. Programs that teach meditation or mindfulness may combine the practices with other activities. For example, mindfulness-based stress reduction is a program that teaches mindful meditation, but it also includes discussion sessions and other strategies to help people apply what they have learned to stressful experiences. Mindfulness-based cognitive therapy integrates mindfulness practices with aspects of cognitive behavioral therapy. So, first of all, I'm going to start responding to this because this is obviously taking it to a more complex level than your fucking doctor was. Mindfulness-based cognitive therapy is a little bit like let's figure out exactly what they're talking about when they say this. The percentage of mindfulness. So it's just more common. It's become popular. Why do they study it? They have practiced it. What are the health benefits? So, recent studies have investigated if meditation or mindfulness helps people manage these things. Other studies have looked at the effects. However, much of the research on these topics has been preliminary or not scientifically rigorous. Because the studies examine many different types of meditation and mindfulness practices, and the effects of those practices are hard to measure, results from the studies have been difficult to analyze and may have been interpreted too optimistically. Slam dunk on you bitches. Not you. I'm the institute.
That doesn't mean that there isn't research that shows health benefits.
Yeah, but it's saying that,
and it specifically says that there's no research that shows.
But they're specifically saying what I was saying, and that it's hard to measure, and that these.
Well, of course, it would be hard to measure. I didn't say it's something you could measure.
What I'm saying is these meditation could fucking mean anything, and so like these studies can't really possibly measure it unless they do a specific type of thing. Like they're focusing on 1,000 people who just do mantras, and they have a control group of people who don't do mantras. And then they have like the average person, you know, like they like have a mixed group, you know, and then we see the depression levels after fucking 12 months. Like that's the only way to get a real study. But I bet a lot of these studies are like, oh, we asked 10,000 people. Like it even. Well,
and I was just about to say,
like in a survey.
It depends.
Like,
I was just about to say, like you're thinking of a different kind of studies than what I was talking about.
A scientifically rigorous study, one that actually proves.
That's not what I was talking about. I don't know why you would think this is something that would be measurable. I was talking about like statistics, like people experience, like people who have done meditation and had positive benefits.
What I'm saying. It's either a placebo effect or they're doing something else that's beneficial. That's my, and I don't see any evidence to disprove that. I feel like this even agrees with me. It's like, we could even come down here and start reading this.
It's just like what I told you from my experience. That's not something you can measure. I can't show you how much it helped. I can just tell you, yeah, during the time that I was meditating, I noticed that I had better control of my mind. Like, like the clutter in my mind.
And maybe that's just being mindful, and maybe you found other
because
ways.
That's what meditation is. It's mindfulness.
You've also since found other ways to be mindful, and so you don't need that as much.
No, I just kind of stopped caring about it, I guess. My mind is always cluttered.
Then why don't you do it anymore?
Because I
mean, it seems super beneficial.
Yeah, maybe I should.
Yeah, maybe you should.
Yeah, I mean, why don't I exercise? Why don't I eat more vegetables? These are good
probably
questions.
Because you work a lot and it's hard to buy fresh vegetables every single day.
So because I work a lot and I have little free time, I don't think I want to spend my free time meditating. Maybe I just don't care about it that much. That doesn't mean there aren't benefits to it.
I know. I'm just jabbing at you.
But I mean, like, yeah, I mean, I should like exercise more and stuff. Maybe I should meditate again. Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.